I finished the last video with the words completely and utterly immersed in what you are doing. That is not a natural state of mind for the ordinary minded person, because the ordinary minded person's subconscious mind is completely and utterly immersed in reviewing their stored knowledge which they learned during their formative years. The ordinary mind is never totally immersed in what they are doing in the here and now. Hence the need to actually develop our pure mindfulness so that it can be applied through purpose in the moment to what it is we need to do in the moment to get what we want out of the moment. It's really simple, or at least it sounds simple. What you have to do is train your mind. But once you have trained your mind, and the primary means of training is meditation, once you have trained your mind, you will be utterly and totally immersed in what it is you are doing. In fact, you will be so utterly and totally immersed in what it is you're doing that you will know for a fact, because of your level of focus, that you are doing just the right thing. And should you become distracted, and bear in mind, with the best will in the world, we all become distracted from time to time, but should you become distracted, you will be utterly and totally immersed in the here and now, enough to stop doing what you should not be doing. Interestingly enough, the University of Chicago pins down the feeling that we get when we are utterly and totally immersed in what we are doing. The first thing that the university states is that we become so immersed in what we are doing that any of the cares, frustrations, worries or stresses that we might normally apply our minds to simply evaporate. It's an interesting phrase I've just used because in fact none of the cares, frustrations, worries or stresses that we carry around with us actually exist other than in our mind. So they couldn't really evaporate. I suppose what it is we realise is that being totally immersed in the moment, that they're actually not there at all. So you become so immersed in what you're doing that you literally haven't got a care in the world. You can begin to see now why I use language over all these various videos and articles on Gertie.net, why I use words like carefree and effortlessness, because if you get your head in the right place, you do not have a care in the world. And not only do you not have a care in the world, you'll be so immersed in doing the right thing that only good things will seem to just happen, a phrase I used a couple of videos ago. The other interesting thing that you can hang your hat on in terms of evaluating whether you are in flow or not is that the University of Chicago has established that the old adage that time flies when we're having fun is actually the case. Time is in the mind of the beholder. When we are totally immersed in something, time flies, very often to the extent that we forget to have a break or have our lunch or have our dinner because we're so immersed in what we're doing. And by the same token, when our heads are all over the place, or we're bored, or we're worried, or we're distracted, or we're waiting for something to happen, time drags. So there you have two specific things that I've just mentioned that you can evaluate yourself in relation to. One, am I so immersed in what I'm doing that I don't have a care in the world? And two, is time flying because I'm having fun?